All right, all right. Hello, 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 everyone. I am super excited tonight. I'm your host, Angela A. Love Lewis. This is iShine podcast, and tonight you are in for a treat. So, for all of my mothers out here, my grandmothers, my aunties, all of you all, please tag somebody so they can come in and listen to this conversation because everyone knows that prayer is so powerful, and these ladies have came together, joined with some other phenomenal authors to be in an anthology and tell their story. So I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. I'm going to go ahead and get this ticker tape running so y'all can see it is a mother's prayer, love letters to my daughters. Ladies, how are you tonight?
Doing great, great, great.
I am fabulous.
Awesome, awesome. Well, listen, as I said before, we have a couple of the ladies who are part of this amazing project. So I have Celeste Payne and Dr. Josephine Harris. Ladies, I know that this is something that is near and dear to you both because you took the time out to really participate in it. Now, the visionary Nadia Francois was unable to make it with us tonight, but I know she's probably tuning in watching. So I want you all to, first and foremost, let's get the introductions out the way. Let them know who you are, what you do, so they can go ahead and start following you all on social media because you ladies are busy and doing big things. So, Celeste, we will start with you.
Sure. My name is Celeste Payne. I am an artist. I'm, definitely an author because I'm in the book. I'm an arts educator, and what I do is help women, mostly women and children, develop creativity through the arts. And for women, my main thing is using the arts as a highway of transformation for them so that they can tap into their creativity to create a way out or a way past situations that might have been holding them back or hindering them.
Oh, awesome. That's very good and very unique for a lot of people because I know art is very therapeutic. And so when you get into situations where you are able to, get a canvas in front of you, or maybe even Celeste, I'm going to go as far as to say coloring books because y'all know them coloring
Right.
books came pretty popular there, but being
Mhm.
able to be creative and just let all of that flow. So that's a great thing because we're talking about, letters to our daughters and just being able to know that you are incorporating art with people and helping them to, express themselves creatively, girl. Let me get it right. Creatively so that they can, do their things. So I think that's a very good because I also believe that when you write, you have the
Mhm.
opportunity to do the same, to deal with
Yes.
things that maybe you're going through. So it looks like you got it on both ends. I love it. I love it. Dr. Josephine Harris, ma'am, please introduce yourself and let them know who you are and what you do.
Yes, ma'am. As you know, I am Dr. Josephine Harris. You can call me Dr. Joe. I am an international psychologist as well as a mental health coach. I am a 7-time best-selling author and a 4-time international best-selling author. I have a blog as well. I'm a certified mental health coach where I coach women, particularly military spouses, through challenging times to find self-direction so that they can have a purpose in life and through their husband military career. And that's me.
Come
Mhm.
on, Dr. Joe. Listen, I love it. I love it. I was super excited when Nadia and I were talking because Dr. Joe and I were participants in the Sean Fair Leadership Experience Tour back in February. So it's really good to see how, just the connections that you can make with someone. And I know, ladies, that being part of an anthology
Mhm.
also gives you an opportunity to tap into people. So, Celeste, tell me, what has been your experience with writing this book?
Well, with this book, I was able to pretty much share a part of my life that I normally would not have shared
Mhm.
because usually we're talking about our professional lives and how we leveled up and how we got ahead. But this was really near and dear to my heart because it dealt with something I wanted to deal with. I just didn't know how. And that was for me the loss of my mother at a young age. And so like there were so many things I didn't experience from a mother, you know. And so my experience has been great. I love anthologies. I love how many people I've met over the how many I've been in one, two, three. I think I've been in three anthologies since the
Okay.
pandemic. And so just the way that it has um, allowed me to share my message of creativity across the country, across the globe. I've met people from other countries, and like it's opened up opportunities for me to be on platforms that I would not have been able to get on. So like there's like even with this platform being on this in the book has afforded me to share on this platform, and we've never met, but now that we've met, we network and we connect, and we it's just it to me it's like being in an anthology is like being in that airplane. It can take you so many different places. And so that's, my motivation was to get some things out that I wanted to share. But the benefits are when you're authentic with your story, it can take you places you never thought that you could go.
How powerful, Celeste, is that? I totally agree. I have a publishing company, A&M Publishing and Productions, and we do a lot of different anthologies. And what I have told a lot of people is visibility is key. And one great way to become visible is to get into anthologies because it allows you to leverage other people's platforms. You are able to network. You're able to build connections and collaborations with other people that you may otherwise not have met, and it just gives you so many opportunities to open doors where maybe you would not have otherwise. And so for those who are joining in, Keisha, I see you on here. Hey lady, thank you so much for tuning in. It's really important, like you said, to be open, and you made a key statement when you said since the pandemic. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know about you guys, but it's not that I didn't know about anthologies before, but they have become super popular since the pandemic. It's like everybody's had an opportunity to sit down and really get into projects that they can share, whether it's their story, whether it's their expertise, or whatever it may be, the opportunity is presented now. So thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much for sharing that, Celeste. So, Dr. Josephine, what about you? What made you decide to get into this particular project?
Wow. When Nadia, she experienced and she reached out to me, and I met her from a past anthology that we was on. So that was really motivating me. And it said a mother's prayer. I like, oh my goodness, that sound like really good book to get into. So you never know. I have daughters. I have two biological daughters, and I have two bonus daughters. So it's dynamic for me to be in this book, and I really enjoyed the experience that I had throughout this journey.
That's great. And you know what? You just said it again. You have met Nadia through another project. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really about opening up doors where you are meeting people and you're being able to pull from each other and see what we're doing, how we're operating. And I love it because I know they still always say the ladies can't get along or that we can't collaborate, but I beg to
Mm-hmm.
differ. So your
Right.
experience with the other women who've been in this platform. Celeste, I'll let you start. What has that experience been like since you've been working with a group of women?
Well, what this has done for me, because I think sometimes we don't get along with certain women because you might be connected to the wrong women. So to me, you have to be connected to like minded people. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
not that anybody I was with was holding me back, but I knew that there was another connection I needed to make because we connected in one area, but I had a desire to connect in another area. And so for
Mm-hmm.
me, my connection was a lot of ministry related stuff. And it's not that anyone did anything wrong to me. It's just that I felt drawn to the marketplace. And I wanted to connect with business women. And I wanted to, and
Mm-hmm.
so being in the anthology, it put me on a playing field to where iron can sharpen iron because I'm a business person. Like I'm a marketplace person. So
Mm-hmm.
um collaboration has been great. And so you meet people who have that same mindset that I want to collaborate. You are good at this, I'm good at this. Let's work together. Let's make something happen. And I have met some amazing people that we complement each other. One of pastor that I know, he said, how do you, he posed the question, how do you raise the value of a pearl? And the answer is to put another pearl next to it. So it's not like you're competing, but you're complementing each other. And so I kind of feel like you got to know if you're with rocks or with pearls. And I'm not trying to down people, but like somebody that has the same mindset or that wants that same mindset, because it's not like you push people away and be like, but there are people who want it. You can work with them, but there are some people who have that negative mind that they don't want anything for themselves and they don't want you to have anything. And so during this process, I've met mostly great people and have been able to connect and grow. Some of my people that I know on a day-to-day basis I work with and stuff, they're like, oh my goodness, what happened? Like, it's almost like within a 6 to 8 month period, like my whole life has transformed. And part of it is from being connected to the right group.
Awesome. Thank you for putting it like that, because it does mean not just connecting with anybody, but connecting with like-minded people is what helps you to really transition yourself into a position that will help you across the board, whether you're trying to level up professionally, whether you're trying to level up personally with your business connections, all those things. It makes a difference with who you're connected to. And so, Josephine, for you, I see that, like you said, 7-time best-selling author. You've done this before. How has this project benefited you? What was your experience when working with so many women? Did you have a similar experience like Celeste?
I did have a similar experience like Celeste, working with a bunch of women, and I'm from the South, so and I grew up in a big family, and I have mostly sisters, and working with a group of women, and you know how it is, like, okay, your sister's gonna fuss, and y'all back together again. It wasn't like that. It was like a family of beyond, and everybody got along, and we collaborate, and we didn't try and do competition with each other. We collaborate with the project. We made sure everything was in order, made sure that she got the chapters on time. And if we need more time, she gave us more time. So it was a wonderful experience for me on this project. And many projects that I've been on, anthology projects, I have been on many anthology projects, and it was wonderful. I have not yet to had a bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. That's amazing.
I have not yet to have a bad experience.
Love to hear that. And Celeste, I see Piangela came on and she said, yes, everyone can't handle your pearls. And that was such a great analogy, because that is so true. Ladies, when we are talking about a mother's prayer, and you're talking about love letters to your daughter. And Celeste, I know you said you actually did yours in reverse because you lost your mom at an early age. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about that, dealing with pearls, when we talk about women, your pearls can mean more than one thing, right?
Right.
What advice would you give to someone in reference to pearls? When you're wanting to do a love letter to somebody, or to really kind of give them something to understand the value of that. Celeste, how would you explain that?
Well, to show them the value, are you saying like the value in themselves, or?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the things that would be to explain to them that everybody is born with some type of gem or gift or treasure that's already born. They're born with it. Mm-hmm. And part of this life's process is being able to dig deep enough to find it. And so one of my things that I would say is, like, don't get that there is that treasure there. Of course we know pearls are in the ocean, but I'm just going to treasure. That's what. But you have to dig deep, and you have to be willing to adapt and go through some things, because some things aren't going to surface. Even if we use the pearl as an example, like, you got to pry an oyster open in order to get to the
Yes.
pearl. Something has to break. And sometimes things in life have to break or break down. And don't get discouraged by the breakdown, because on the other side of the break is the pearl or the treasure.
Celeste, you said something right there. I'm telling you, because we often reference ourselves either diamonds or pearls, but in
Hmm.
both cases, it takes something to get the beauty of it out. You know,
Hmm.
pressure for diamonds, but even with pearls, it requires a lot to get it up out of the oyster. And I will even go as far as to say that dirt has to get in there in order
Right.
for the pearl to be refined to the
Mm.
point of when it comes out, the value is even more. And
Right.
so it speaks to the fact that life is not always going to be perfect. Life
Right.
is not always going to be, peaches and cream and everything is just, lovely. Sometimes there's going to be some dirty situations. And when
And
you talk
dark situations.
and dark situations, absolutely. And when you reference it like that, it really is a great opportunity to come together with this type of project, because it allows you from a mother's prayer to give wisdom, to give
Mm,
advice, to share
yes,
some of your life experiences. So
yes.
Josephine, Dr. Joe, I see you shaking your head. What can you answer?
When I think of pearls, I think of precious jewels. I think of you have to go through obstacles and hurdles and challenges, but God put a pearl in your way to know that you have the magic that He give you the key to your destiny.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
that's what I see as pearls. You have to have that destiny, and God give you talents, gifts, but He have to have that. You have to have that discernment, so that God know that when He places certain people in the path, that they're gonna guide you in the right direction.
Ah, that's good. That's
Hmm.
good. So, ladies, you're talking about a mother's prayer. What is the prayer? What prayer would you speak over? And I know, Celeste, you did yours in reverse. So, share with us from your perspective. What was the title of your story?
Well, my story was basically dealing with the 5 minutes uh, when I was trying to decide whether I should call an ambulance or not, because my mother was deceased in the house. And that
Okay.
was the beginning of my piece. But I will
Mhm.
say this, that another part that Nadia asked me to do was to write a prayer for God's daughters. And so I
Mhm.
can share on that more
Okay.
towards in my chapter. But the I did a prayer that released blessings over God's daughters, and the daughters could be, anybody who's a daughter,
Yes.
just
Mhm.
that. And it was like calling out the spirit of, or the qualities of Deborah, and calling out the qualities of Hannah, and calling out the qualities of many different women in the Bible, so
Yeah.
that we could pull on that strength, and that would
Mm,
be upon them, and they can overcome and be able to push through um, we are gifted as women. We are so gifted,
yes.
but we don't
Yes.
know that we're gifted. So,
Mhm.
so us women who are seasoned in the word and seasoned in prayer, it's our responsibility to speak that word out. And I just happen to write it out in prayer. But that was my thing, is when
Yes.
you're reading about other women, and of course mine was mostly biblical women,
Mhm.
but there's other women like us who are in, that we meet through these projects, and that they're going to read about in this book. And it's like you can pull on their prayers that they wrote and pull some strength out of those to help you move forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. I think it's very powerful, and I love that. Even coming from a biblical perspective, there are women in the Bible that you can
Mhm.
draw strength from. There are women in
Yes.
the Bible that you can look at some of their characteristics, some of the things that they went through to get to the other side, whatever that looked like. And again, life isn't easy. We don't have a manual. I mean, we have the Bible,
Right.
but when you're having children, or even if you don't have children, for most women, you're in some type of mothering situation. I don't care if it's a coworker, I don't care if it's a church a family member, I don't care what it is, a niece or nephew, you typically are going to be in some situation where you are mothering someone by
Mm-hmm.
giving them advice, by giving them comfort, by giving them, some type of encouragement. And being able to do that allows you to share some pieces of yourself. And Dr. Joe, for you, I know you said you have two daughters, but you also have extended other daughters as well.
Yes.
So your prayer and the love letter that you wrote, what is the name of your chapter?
The name of my chapter is Daughters Are Unique. And I wrote that because when I was coming up, sometimes we waste our time comparing ourselves to others.
Oh, good.
And what I mean by that is like when I remember the Theodore Roosevelt, he said a quote, comparison is the thief of joy. So I
Mm,
talked about how I give encouraging my daughters, encouraging them to don't waste your time comparing yourself to others because God has made each of us unique and no matter what we do. Even though we go through a challenging time, God have placed on us the skills that He has stored in us for us to be unique. So mine is
mhm.
talk about how unique daughter is and don't waste your time comparing yourself to other people in the world.
Oh, powerful, powerful. Because y'all know social media keeps us comparing. And for a lot of these young girls, we didn't have that in my time. We didn't have the Facebooks and the things like that, to really see all of the way that people show up and the way they present themselves. And all the time it's not factual. Sometimes people just put some things out there, but that's really not how they're living, or that's really not the success that they're seeing. And so for young girls who may be impressionable, think that that's what they have to do, or that's how they have to act,
Yeah.
or this is the career path they need to choose because they see the success and the fast money. So I love that you say about being unique, because the Bible says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. So if you understand your uniqueness, that allows you to step back a little bit and understand that you have to not compare, but to honor yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to position yourself to be ready. So, ladies, I know that again, it's two of you here today, but there are other people who are in the project. So, can y'all give us a little, I guess, how many people were in the project and what is next? Where are you all at in the process?
Wow. Let me tell you, it's I'm not
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like about 15 of us in
Okay.
there. Yes. And where I'm next in the project is
Like,
I got
okay.
many more. Go ahead.
I think it's about 20 something.
20 something, okay.
Good, good, good.
So it's about
So,
20 something us in the book.
Oh no, that's good. You can go ahead.
And we did became the number one bestseller.
yes, very good.
So the way I'm at in the project is that is I think that this project is going to go way beyond national. It's going to go international. It's going to be global around the world because it's so inspiring. And many
Mhm.
of these authors are in the book telling stories about their daughters. If they don't have daughters, they writing letters to their mother or writing
Mhm.
daughters around the world. So I think that it's going to inspire others' daughters to get on. I think it's going to be another check. I think it's going to be another volume. I really do think Nadia should come out with another volume of it.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. And Nadia, I know you listen, so y'all know Nadia's honey industrious, baby. She gonna make it happen, make it do what it do. But I do agree, because I think that, and Celeste, you made a comment earlier, about just from a biblical perspective, and you know that the seasoned women are here to help the younger women, to give them that advice. And so there's always something that we can share, always something that we can impart wisdom wise, to the younger generation. And so I know that it constantly can be volume after volume, because as we're maturing and growing, we're seeing different things and being exposed to, ways of handling ourselves that maybe, sometimes young girls may not get the opportunity because maybe they don't have their mother growing up. So Celeste, for you, since your mom passed when you were younger, who was the person that inspired you and
Right.
instilled certain things in you?
Well, in my chapter, which is the formal title is hashtag I love you, mom. I talk about my
Mhm.
grandmother who
Mm.
really picked up the pieces and made sure that I was successful and moved forward. And I had a dream, like in my middle years,
Mhm.
that there were going to be three women that were going to help navigate me through life. And so I did, meet some of those women, and they are like this year. I met another lady, and she calls me her daughter, and she takes care of me like a daughter. And so it was like, after all those years, finally meeting another woman. Came out, and my grandmother were major people who helped me get through without my mom.
That's amazing. And it's such a beautiful thing to have other people come in your life, who are willing to share and willing to, embrace you as their own. So, Dr. Josephine, for you, who was the major influence in your life that really kind of helped you to feel like, okay, I know that I'm getting, because sometimes when you're growing up, when you have conversations about sex or conversations about money and things like that, sometimes it's not our mom who gives us that information. So did you have someone else outside of your mother that was able to impart and give you some wisdom, and share some things with you?
Of course. As you know, my mom. We had a big family, so I'm the middle child of seven children of my mama's side, and I'm the baby of four children on my dad's side. So with my mom,
Mhm.
she was working all the time because she was a single parent. But a couple of years ago, in 2009, I lost my mom, and I empathize with Cecily because I had to perform CPR on my mom. So I brought her back, and I was on this journey. I brought her back, and when
Hmm.
during the whole path I brought her back, and I understand what she was going. I empathize with you because having a mother there is the most important thing, especially within a girl. But along the way, my mom used to work all the time, so I had mentors along the way. I had my godmama. I was in Girl Scouts, and I know a lot of people, a lot of girls that now it's not it called Cub Scouts. I was in Girl Scouts a lot, so
Mhm.
I was a cheerleader as well. So I had my captain, I had my coaches, I was very active in school and in high school. Although I was a teen mom, because I was a teen mom, and when I was a teen mom, all the stuff that I tell my daughters, my mom didn't tell me that. I had to learn along the way. So I told myself that I was not going to do my daughters like that. I was going to be in their life and teach them how to be a young lady,
Mhm.
how to be respectful of yourself. Because if nobody respect you, you have to respect yourself for other people to respect you. So I had a lot of mentors along the way.
That's good. And I love it because, again, and it's so great, I guess, Celeste, that you even had the opportunity to go back and write a letter to your mom. So to be able to come full circle and say that I can go back and share where I am now and how I felt about the impact of your mom in your life, but also to look at other people who have shared and given you the wisdom and the love that you needed growing up. So this book is really important because there are women out here maybe who have
Hmm.
went in foster homes, or maybe have had different things, because I lost my mom in 2000. So when Mother's Day comes up and everybody else, I'm a mom now, I have two daughters, but it's always still a little something different when you don't have your mom. So for people who are in those situations, they still can go back and
Hmm.
get book because I know that you all have shared prayers. You've shared some things inside there that can really help
Mm-hmm.
someone. So, Celeste, if there's one thing that you would want to share with someone now to encourage them to go ahead and buy the
Yeah.
book, regardless of whether they're a mother or whether they have a daughter, what would you tell them?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a little technical difficulties, Celeste, because I'm not able to hear you.
I think she's in the Matrix.
I know, right? Look, at first it started good, and then now we can't hear anything. So and it's not that she's not on mute, so it has to be some type of
Yeah. Unless she got her phone playing as well. So you have to
I
mute your
would
phone.
say if you are dealing with conflict with your mom, this
Mhm,
would be a great book to have because reading the stories from the people who have the positive relationships with their mother and daughter.
mhm.
Oh, it's well, you want to go, Dr. Joe, and then
Yeah, Dr. Joe, let me see. Yes, if you can, or Celeste, you may want to go out and come back in. I don't know if that'll help out any, but
I
Dr.
don't.
Joe, if you want to take the
Mm-mm,
question,
it's not. I'm a.
okay,
You go ahead. I'm gonna come back in. Hold on.
okay,
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
yes. As soon as she said it, it went out.
Yes.
Yes. What would you, Dr. Joe? What would you tell a person? Why should they read this book?
Well, with this, A Mother's Prayer, the letters to my daughter, this book right here is going to inspire, whether you have a daughter, whether you are a daughter, because everybody is a daughter of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody might be a coach of somebody. You might be a mother, grandmother, auntie. You might be a stepmom, a mom. This book will encourage you to help your daughters, anybody that's there, to understand different obstacles and challenges you go through, and you are and to help you vibe as a woman in prayer and motivate you to do even better. To say you have them pearls, them diamonds. You are a diamond. You are them pearls. You are unique in different ways because God has made us wonderfully made and he loves us like that. So this book will encourage you. If you don't have a daughter, read it, give it to your auntie, give it to your sister, even if give it to your brothers, because your brothers might be have daughters and they might have sisters. So it's really an encouraging book for women, even men can give it to their mom or daughters or something like that to help them move forward in life, to help them encourage, to help them, be inspired, live big, dream big.
Dr. Joe, you hit the nail on the head because I think sometimes people read the titles not for me, but something can be said, even like you said, if, as a man, you may have a daughter, or you may have a niece, or you may have a cousin. You have someone, a woman in your life that can get value from this book. And so it's definitely something that we want you to go out and get your copy. We want you to go and download it. So, how can they find the book?
We also, you can go on my website, Celeste website, Nadia website. My website is www.commonminds.llc, and you can also follow me on all social media as well.
Okay, thank you. Now, Celeste, I see you're back, so let me see if we can
Yeah,
hear you.
you can hear me. I'm sure you can on this app.
Yes. I know, right? Yes. So, Celeste, you can go back to the question then, since we kind of probably missed a lot of what you were trying to say.
Can you tell me what it was? Because I was struggling trying to get back.
That's fine. I was asking, for people who are out here, why would you tell them that they need to go and buy this book?
Well, I was saying that for somebody who may have a strained relationship with their mom,
Mm-hmm.
this would be a good book for you to read to see how other families have dealt with conflict, have dealt with different issues, because there are several stories of one in particular. Cheryl Sanford has a story about why she had to let someone else care for her kids while she was going through an illness. But kids don't really understand. They just think, Mama, you left me, you know. So to
Yeah.
hear the why behind, and then to realize that some of the stuff your mom may have gone through is stuff that other moms have gone through. So you can give your mom some grace. That's what I did in my chapter. I talked about the grace I extended to my mom even after she was deceased, as well as forgiving her for things that I blamed her for that may have been out of her control. So I think if you have a problem with your mom and you're not getting along, or you feel like she did you something, read the book and learn how to extend some grace to her and understanding.
Oh, now that's good. I love it. Give grace, because you know what? We all have been through some things, and
Mm,
it's so easy to say what you would do or what you think you could do, but until you're in certain situations, you don't know. And
Right.
no.
so, some mothers who have given away children may not have been because they didn't want you. It just may have been that they loved you so much they wanted you to have a better experience than what they felt like they could do. you
Mm,
know like Dr. Joe said, when you're having children at a younger age, sometimes your parents don't want you to have that child and they force you to give them up. So it's so many scenarios, it's so many things that people don't understand and they wonder why. But this book, regardless of what your situation is, whether you have a good relationship with your mom or not, reading this book can give you so many insights from different perspectives of motherhood, from different perspectives of being a daughter, and knowing how you felt. So as you wrote your book, so I'll start with you, Dr. Joe, this time. As you wrote your chapter, how did you feel about your relationship with your mom?
wow. With my relationship with my mom, we were really close. We were really close. I was really close with my mom. When I used to tell my mom everything, she used to always think I'd be playing. But I used to just tell her everything. She was like, my mom was, I was the middle child. So she had me a lot of high expectations. And on my
Mhm.
dad's side, I had a lot of high expectations. And they wanted me to be this attorney, which I
Mhm.
did got into attorney school. But I did that's the route that I did not want it because they wanted it and I didn't want
Mhm.
it that. So I was not gonna I wouldn't say I was rebellious. I would say that they wanted a lawyer life. I didn't want a lawyer life.
Yeah.
So me and my mom was close and me and my daughters are close now. Me and my
Mhm.
daughters are close. We have up and down challenges, but we are a close knitted family. We are extended family. We are extended family. So we had our challenges up and down. We are blended family, and blended family go through a lot of challenges. But you have to lay the foundation down, especially for girls.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, ladies, I'm going to let you give a final word, whatever you want to say to the people about what you're doing in your current business and anything else you want to say as it pertains to the book itself. And so, Dr. Celeste, we'll start with you.
Well, I would just want to say, for me, um, the way you can actually get the book from me is on www.celesteempowers.com. I do host paint parties and do fun stuff like that.
Mhm.
I will be rolling out some more self-care empowerment events combined with the arts within the next couple of months. And what I would say to anybody, like Dr. Joe was saying, how she misses her mom. If your mom is still on this side of the earth, right? I would encourage
Mhm.
you to, if you can, I know all relationships, uh, aren't the best,
Yeah.
but regardless, cherish that time with your mom, cherish the experiences that you've had with your mom. Um, I've heard several great stories, so I don't want to taint this as it's like all these bad experiences because it's not. but to cherish that and to try and nurture that relationship in a way that as your mom gets older, that you can flip and give her what she's giving you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's very good. Very good. All right. And Dr. Joe, let everybody know what's next for you. What do you have going on? How they can get in contact with you, and anything else you want to say as pertains to the book.
Well, I have a lot going on, but right now I'm getting ready to write my book, and it's called "The Seven Mindsets That Would Change Your Life." So
Okay.
I talk about the different mindset that I was in and the challenges I went through with my mental health as a military spouse, and how my
Mhm.
mindset had changed my life, and how I went through these obstacles up and down, and how God put certain people in my along my path to even flourish me, to change my mindset into a growth mindset. So one of the things I'm getting ready to do, I am like getting ready to write. I'm a coach. I'm a certified mental health coach, where I help you navigate through mental health challenges as you have these life challenges you go through and stuff like that. So you can also find me on all social media at Dr. Joe Harris, and link it at Dr. Josephine Harris. I also blog. I blog about mental health, and I give you tips dealing with your mental health as well. My blog is called Healthy Minds and Hearts. You can follow me on that, and you can purchase my book through my website. It's www.commonmindsllc.com. And
Thank you
one
so
of
much.
the things I know, one of the things that I will leave with daughters is you have to be quick to forgive. Forgiveness is a powerful, powerful tool. Will help you live through anything through your life. Because how can you not forgive and God forgive you? So you have
Mm.
to think about that. Although I know that people go through challenges with their families and their mothers and stuff like that, but realize that you only have one mother. So that opened many doors for you of forgiveness.
Powerful, powerful. Listen, these ladies have participated in the anthology A Mother's Prayer, Love Letters to My Daughters. And Josephine has talked about forgiveness. Celeste has talked about grace. And those are two powerful things that I think can help bridge the gap in any relationship. So if you can find it in your heart, if you have an estranged relationship with your mom, or with your daughter, those two things can take you a long way to repairing things. And in life, as you go through things, share some of the things that you've been through, because there's somebody out there who may not have their mother and may need your wisdom, may need you to stand in the gap and be encouraging and be supportive of them. Because I'm telling you, there's so many people out here, like you said, being in sports or in church, that gives you opportunities to be loved on, because we all need love. Love makes the world go round, and there's nothing like the power of somebody, especially a mother. And I said before, when I was posting, there's nothing like a mother's prayer, because a mother will make sure, honey, she keep you covered, and want to make sure she sees wants the best for you in all things. So ladies, thank you again, Nadia. Once again, I know best-selling book, so you guys, hey, I know this is going to be not the last one, but one of many, because it's so many people who can come and share their story. But we commend you both for being a part of this, and I hope that we see so much more of both of you as you continue on in your various career paths. So anything else that you wanted to say, ladies, before we log off?
I
No.
just want to thank you for having us and allowing us to share our stories.
You are welcome. You are welcome. It was a pleasure to have you all here. So, listen, everybody, this has been iShine Podcast. Please make sure you reach out, go to Amazon, the ladies' platforms that they gave out. Look for A Mother's Prayer, Love Letters to My Daughters. Make sure you download it or purchase a copy of the book, so that you can, if you feel like you don't need it for yourself, there's always somebody you can share it with. So, be a giver and really help these ladies continue to purchase the book and get the word out about this project. Until then, you all have a phenomenal rest of the night and an amazing weekend, and be blessed. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.